one step in front of the other, along a road with seemingly no end, breathing in the green. Cold fog breath, moss moist, ancient soil fills my nose. The venerable and forgotten gods, their song calls to me, each step deeper into Haeth's heart. I hear the oath of a season, the promise that in the end, we find a place to finally call home.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the House of Dreams. I am your steward, Okami, aka Hector, aka Keiichi Okami, all over the internet. I'm so glad that you're all here for our Black History Month fundraiser. Oh, wait, there we are. Yep. For our Black History Month fundraiser that we are doing in cooperation with Apochramatic Unlimited. And I just got to get some house cleaning. You guys know how Twitch streams are, and then I will introduce you all to my amazing cast. So housekeeping. So Apochramatic Unlimited, our partners, is doing a 2025 Black History Month TTRPG fundraiser that is benefiting Black Girls Rock. We're raising funds on Tiltify for Black Girls Rock. Black Girls Rock is an organization and movement dedicated to empowering and celebrating Black girls and women through programs focused on leadership, education, and cultural enrichment. So every weekend of Black History Month, this channel, Apochramatic Unlimited, Obsidian Brews, and Nerdgasm Noir, will be hosting actual plays and panels to raise funds and show our passion, unity, and creativity. I also want to give a special big thanks and shout out to this year's sponsor, Transplanar RPG. Transplanar RPG is an award-winning, all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy channel telling stories in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. They are proud to support the Apochramatic Unlimited Black History Month fundraiser and encourage everyone watching to give what they can. As always, we stand in solidarity with all oppressed people in the US and the world, fighting for freedom against colonization, imperialism, and white supremacy. Free Sudan, free DRC, free Palestine, and because I'm Boricua, free Puerto Rico. You can donate to Black Girls Rock by clicking the link in chat to Tiltify, where your donations will be tracked live, and also check out the links of each of our cast members. Speaking of our cast members, let's go ahead and get them introduced. We have, in my opinion, a table of Black excellence before us. So I want to go ahead and start with Umbralknight. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Yes, so I am Umbralknight. You can find me over on the Blue Skies at Umbralknight X. And I am today playing Vester Kaul, the tree kangaroo. Vester is a vagabond, and if I understood from reading the rules right, I think I'm just supposed to just commit heinous violence all the time. Is that how this Wanderhome works?
No.
Oh, okay.
What you want to do is you want to pull cons and
Oh,
tricks. Cons
okay.
and
Well, I'll get it
tricks.
figured out. I'll
Cons
get
and
it figured out.
tricks.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
of
kidding.
course, of course.
I'm here for the fun. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this leads us.
Yeah. And then next up is the comparable Honey.
Hello, everybody. I'm Honey, aka Honeyanddice. That's why this is a very surprising guest spot for me because they have me playing a game that involves absolutely no dice. So, I run games, I write games, I play games, but most of all, I'm just everyone's biggest cheerleader. I apologize for my setup, any weird things with sound or camera. I'm actually in a hotel room right now. I got this scheduled, I agreed to it, and then my pays the bill job said we need to fly you out of state for next week. So I did everything that I could to make sure I could show up today for you all. So I hope you enjoy this story. I'm playing Suriet Nuit, um, a Prairie Vole Mothtender, and she's pretty in peach, just like I'm pretty in pink today. So we're staying on theme.
And last but certainly not least, my very good friend, Trooper. Oh no,
You're muted.
wait. You're muted. It wouldn't be a stream without technical difficulties.
Right.
Hold on.
Ah,
Now we can hear you.
Oh, good, you got me. I just
Yeah.
had the little button on Video Ninja. Hello, everybody. I am TrooperSJP, and I am happy to be here. I will be playing Cuddles, who is an adorable kitten and a dreamer, and that is me. And I'm very excited to be here and to dream about wonderful things.
Awesome. And for those of you who are Wanderhome fans, keep in mind the Dreamer is a very special playbook. Is one of our guest playbooks, created by Ray, who's the author of Apocalypse Keys and many other fantastic RPGs. In case people are flipping through their Wanderhome book at home and they're like, "Where's the Dreamer?" You want those guest playbooks? Get them from Cosmic Creek Games. So, without further ado, let us begin our journey. Wanderhome is a game set in the world of Haeth, a pastoral fantasy about not young, some old, travelers, animal folk traveling from place to place in a land that is healing from the trauma of war. There is a peace that has fallen over the land of Haeth. And each one of these travelers who find themselves displaced for whatever reason, as peoples who have endured and survived war find themselves, all have been blessed by venerable and forgotten gods who have given them the secrets of a powerful and sacred capital M magic. There are always 4 questions that we ask our travelers who have been together for some time. Which is the first question, if I may ask? This journey that all of you have been on, what sort of place did you travel from? Thinking.
are we answering collectively or individually?
Yeah, collectively. Yeah.
Oh.
What sort of place did you travel from?
Vester has a sense, I think, some sort of ruins.
Okay, you're at ruins. Okay. What do you think, honey? Do you think it was just ruins? Was there something more to this place?
I believe that as a messenger, Suri ends up somewhere, sometimes anywhere really, but if Vesper had somewhere that Vester had somewhere he wanted to be, something he wanted to see or say, Suri has some time off. So it's kind of a negotiation thing. We go see this thing over here, then we go over there and get something sweet, and so on. But is really endeavoring to explain to Cuddles that this is not a very, it was not a very good place to take naps. Like you go to a ruin and sleep. It was not a nap place. So I don't know where
Not a nap place.
I don't know where that conversation left off, but
Yeah. Cuddles, was there anything else in particular about these ruins that you have left? These places where naps were not a good idea? Was there something else about it that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think that it was overgrown with lots of vines, and the reason why naps were maybe perhaps not a good idea was because everything is all the growth is new. All like it is now like new flowers growing, new ecosystem. It's all very fresh and fragile, but it's like the most sort of like really lovely and wonderful. Like because the ruins, there had been some destruction in the past, but now the land and the earth is growing back. But it's so fresh and new and gentle that it's really maybe not a good idea to nap there because you want to sort of let it grow. So it's this sort of very delicate new growth um, greenery with little vines. They're not big and huge, but it's little wisps and tendrils of vines and flowers and just fresh buds, just wanting to emerge. And you don't want to disrupt the
Crush them.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, would you say that the journey has been long with the three of you?
I think for Vester to kind of answer that question, but also to go a little bit off of Cuddles' description of the place, that Vester heard voices in the last place and maybe some laughter of children in that place. But Vester is not sure if he was the only one that heard that or if everyone else heard it. And Vester didn't say anything about it. But it's on Vester's mind as we travel to the next place. And so for him, it seems like the journey is a long one, whether it actually is or not.
Hmm. Suri is a messenger, so time is important. How long, since Vester seems to not, it feels long to Vester. What do you think, honey? What does Suri think? How is Suri perceiving the length of the journey that the three of you have been on?
the journey may have seemed long originally, but there was something at the ruins that made it worth it to Suri. And in some of that new growth, a very special plant grows that doesn't really grow everywhere. And she got to introduce and
Mm.
show both Vester and Cuddles a few very special cocoons for a very special type of moth that hadn't been seen for a minute. And that for us, the journey may have seemed long, but for these sleeping babies, the only things allowed to actually nap here, their journey has just started.
Wow. And what about Cuddles? How long has this journey that you've all been on felt like?
Well, Cuddles is a small kitten and is not very old. So even like a day is a very large span of Cuddles' life. So
Mhm.
Cuddles' sense of time is a little bit different that way because Cuddles is so young. That said, Cuddles is a dreamer and doesn't really get the passage of time. You know, Cuddles is always thing about being a dreamer is that it notes that regular people go to sleep in order to dream, but dreamers are always dreaming all the time. They don't have to sleep.
Mhm.
They can just be in dreams. And so Cuddles doesn't really understand the flow of time particularly well because Cuddles is just sometimes by a brook, and that might be in Cuddles' dreams or not, or wandering. So Cuddles just sort of is a little bit out of time and timeless, just sort of exists
Mm.
in dreams or in current spaces and is very in the present. And the past doesn't really remember. Yeah, Cuddles just sort of exists in the moment in a bit of a timeless space.
Okay. Is there somewhere we hope to go? Or are we all just kind of going with the flow?
Cuddles is just going with the flow.
Cuddles is going with the flow.
Vester wants to go somewhere that is awe-inspiring.
Okay. All right. And what about Suri?
Suri wants to go anywhere but the place that her heart wants to be the most, and that is to return home, but that is not somewhere Suri can go. So she hopes to go wherever she can be as supportive as possible to her two companions, as
Absolutely.
well as to deliver the next message.
Okay. And finally, we're going to answer the last question silently in our heads. And the question is, where is my home? And with that, we're going to go to our first place, a place known as the Silent Sanctuary. The Silent Sanctuary is a holy place where the dead are honored and psychopomps gather to ferry the souls between the lands of the living and the darkness beyond. It is tended by the silent sages who care and tend to the central shrine, known throughout Haeth as the Silent Sanctuary. An important question, another question for us all to answer. When you arrive at this place, decide a rule that all must follow. So is there a particular rule that we, as a group, would like to make up about this place?
What about if in this place, in order to be respectful,
Had a little reverberation.
Just a little.
I can work it. Give me a moment on that. But how about if basically in this place you
Mm-hmm.
You cut out.
Ooh. Hold on a second. We can't hear you now.
Tech issues again.
Check. The small and forgotten gods of technology are messing with us. There we go.
I think you should have me there. Wait. You should hear me, yeah?
Yes, we hear you. We still got that
Okay.
reverb thing, but we do hear you.
I will check that out in a second. But let me finish the thought. That basically, we cannot speak above a whisper in the silent sanctuary.
Ah, excellent. All right.
I like it.
Everyone who is watching, please turn up your volume. And if you don't want to hurt your voice, you are more than welcome to narrate that your character is whispering. I want everybody, voices are important. And pay attention to the closed captions. So the three of you are on top of a hill. And on this hill sort of overlooks this valley of where the silent sanctuary is. And there's a set of stone stairs, massive stone stairs that are going down into this valley. The traits of this place are, because every place has, particular aesthetics and particular traits about them. There are three natures to the silent sanctuary. It is a graveyard, a place of death where the lost are buried. It is a hollow, a sacred place where gods and mortals linger, and a shrine, a place that houses those unseen until sought out, gods big and small, cared for or forgotten. The aesthetics that you see on the top of the hill as you're looking at the silent sanctuary are gravestones, deep and profound silence. In the center, you see a well-tended shrine. In the distance, you can see a figure that is most likely an old and sturdy caretaker priest. There is an open sanctum in the heart of this place, hallowed and sacred. And furthermore, you see colorfully draped garlands decorating the entirety of this place. This place can always describe the weight of the past, show someone disrespecting the history of this place, as you can see some small children going around with crayons, some small cubs and kits and things, sometimes making markings on some of the sacred stones and being pulled away by their parents. This place can always ask, will you tell us a story no one else could tell? You will be given a token if they do. This place can describe the gods that lived here and their mystery. It can offer someone the chance to break this place's rules to make life easier. It can give someone a token when they bend over backwards to respect this place's rules. It can describe the hopes of a people. It can show the desperation of those in need. And it can give a token when they show vulnerability at the altar. All of the travelers have heard about the folklores of this place. Everywhere in Haeth has a folklore. The folklores here are the day the dead danced with us, the miraculous teachings of the old priest, and the home of the homeless god. The kith and animal folk that live here, typically, not all, are ravens, coyote, jackals, hares, hounds, cats, rats, and owls. And the small and forgotten gods here take the form of glowing wisps, floating masks, and whispers on the wind. As the old caretaker priest and the heart of this for lack of a better term, necropolis, a city of the dead, looks up at you. Could you describe what they see? What do your characters look like to this old caretaker priest, who, even though this old raven is ancient, they have a very sharp eye? We'll start with Vester. Vester, what do you look like?
Vester is a tree kangaroo and is wearing muted colors, sort of grays and blues, maybe some greens, but all the colors are muted. They're not bright. Uh, there is maybe a little bit more brightness in the overly long blue scarf that is wrapped around Vester's neck and that drapes down close to the ground. And sort of far off on the bridge of Vester's nose, there are a pair of glasses, and Vester's clothes look not unkempt, but very well worn. They have been uh, heavily traveled, and perhaps in a few places they've been restitched where maybe something has come loose or a little tear has emerged.
And Suri, what does the old caretaker priest see when their keen raven eyes turn to you?
Suri is a professional Mothtender, which means she offers a little wave of a paw looking cheerful and proper. Freshly cleaned, always well groomed. Her uniform in a peach blazer and white trousers, and she's usually carrying a lantern with her that is thematically shaped like a peach blossom, and a satchel stuffed with all sorts of letters and scrolls and tiny packages. She has dark chocolate brown fur and is tiny. She is a prairie vole. And as she fidgets with a little silver ring that is strategically located on her little paw, she waves again and offers a smile. Probably has come to the Silent Sanctuary before, but never ventured within, just to leave packages. This is not a sanctuary for someone like Suri. It's just another parcel delivery location.
And as the raven caretaker priest glances down, or maybe over because Suri is short, to Cuddles, what do they see?
Cuddles is a very small little kitten, a little white fur ball kitten. Uh, all sort of white, fluffy fur, uh, wears quite small, a little scrawny, with big, big eyes, and wears clothes that are a little raggedy, a little worn, a little ripped, sort of mended here and there, but uh, not much. Little cap, little shoes, uh, carries a little pillow all the time. Just a little pillow, and is just a little bit of a little sleepy little kitty, but who watches everything. You know how cats will sometimes look at things that you are not quite certain are actually there. Uh, Cuddles is always sort of looking at things that may not be there, or listening to things that no one else might be able to hear. It's always sort of seeing both here and into some other dream space, but mostly keeps quite close to Suriet, and uh, just like small little kittens do, just sort of like looks wondering at everything, and there's no sense of fear or worry, but just more interest in all the things that might be.
So I will say, as you approach this place, going down these stairs into the necropolis, it's so. I would say that it's quiet if it wasn't for the music. You don't hear people speaking, you don't hear people singing, but you do hear drums, you do hear flute music, you do hear sort of like a old familiar songs of the violet orchid, and you see so many people leaving fresh purple orchids on graves. You see people sharing drinks and stories. You see people wailing and crying. And it's at that moment that you all realize that you've lost track of time so much that you realize it's Bloody Night. A holiday within Haeth that is not a celebration, but instead a time of mourning. For you cannot lionize those who died for a useless cause. All you can do is thank all the gods that things are better now. You have additional moves while in this place, my travelers. But first, I will share with you the traditions that you all remember. Leaving orchids on graves, recounting the dead, lonely walks at night, old rebel war songs, and sobbing. During the Bloody Night, every one of you can get a token whenever you tell a story about something you try not to think about. You can spend a token to speak directly the name of someone you lost to violence. And you can curse the king of the floating mountains' name.
As we're standing looking over this place, and Vester takes in its measure and sees what this place is about. Vester will let out a long sigh and just quietly say one of the things that a vagabond can always do. I have a bad feeling about this.
Why?
The past.
But the past is past.
So it is.
The past was now. In the future, that was then. So sometimes it makes people a little nervous.
Oh. Mm. And Cuddles clearly could not get the logic of that. That was like a lot of words. That was very complicated for Cuddles. And Cuddles is like, oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. And Cuddles just starts to wander around the graves and just like looks at if somebody's singing a song, kind of just walks over there and looks up at them and purrs a little bit. Just kind of like just just kind of starts wandering around to see what people are doing, because that's interesting.
A lot of people have kind of set up um, like small like picnics, like by the graves and the various small shrines, um, and are quietly eating, crying, um, playing these old Rebel War songs, as you go from place to place, and it's this odd juxtaposition because the conversations are all hushed and are all quiet, these whispers, and there are other kids here that, like I mentioned, that are trying to mess with the shrines and be mischievous, and uh, a lot of their caretakers are like, shh, 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 shh. Be good, be quiet. It's bloody night.
Suriet is going to start setting up their picnic area
Hmm.
beside a grave that has no one near it. Perhaps someone who didn't necessarily have anyone left to come and visit, and starts to set things out, spreading the blanket, um, reaches into her satchel and pulls out just this very beautiful um, set of teacups and little snacks and cookies and stuff, and just takes a deep breath and endeavors to just be there, almost like a in-person messenger service. For often she writes letters for people.
Well, with that, you set all that up, and I think when you take a breath and exhale, you gain a token as you have paused for a moment and you are getting some rest. I also would like to give a token as you have inconvenienced yourself to help someone else, as people start coming to you with, tears in their eyes, handing you letters for delivery without saying a word, and occasionally whispering thank you and moving on their way.
Esther is going to approach this altar that everyone has been going to and take an orchid, one of these purple orchids, and approach the altar.
Mm. An old badger woman dressed in like a broomstick skirt with like layered patch shawls, and she's got like a basket that is filled with these orchids, and her little old shriveled hand, she just sort of hands it to you with a solemn nod. um, you head towards the shrine. So the shrine is in the center of the necropolis, and it's domed with columns, and you see all of these garlands, mostly of violets, for these violet orchids. But there's some white orchids. There's some lilies as well, kind of spiraling around these columns, and it's like an open area, similar to like a open air uh Buddhist shrine of sorts. And then like uh it's like a soft stone ground. You can see all these like little prayer strips kind of hanging uh from the ceiling, uh and blowing in the breeze. And in the center, what would you say the shrine looks like, Umbralknight?
I think the shrine looks sort of like a a large flat slab with carvings around the edges that maybe highlight some nature scenes and other sort of peaceful images of perhaps an open field and other such things, some plant life perhaps, and then with the nature of what everyone is doing here, it's just sort of surrounded by these offerings of these purple orchids, and then maybe some candles scattered about that give sort of a flickering light to the area around the center of the necropolis where perhaps there are all of these mausoleums around.
As you approach the shrine, you notice these robed figures that are wearing dark, like black and dark blue woolen robes, handing out thick blankets and cloaks to the various pilgrims and peoples that have come here to express their grief and let go. Because it's cold. It is the end of the year. It is the final gasp of the cold months, of the month of chill, um, before the warmth of leap begins. So you said you were approaching the shrine and leaving a flower there?
Yeah, Vester sort of crouches and leaves an orchid on at the shrine, and there is a single tear that rolls from Vester's eye and sort of down the side of his face, and he just whispers, "I'm sorry."
I am going to give you a token. In fact, two. One, for leaving an offering to the small and forgotten gods, and another, for speaking your true feelings on a matter. You are approached by the raven, by the caretaker, the one whose eyes are upon you. They seem to float over to you. Their their eyes are not black, but in fact a deep midnight blue. Strange for a raven. They look down at you. As they're very tall. They almost match you in height. And they look, and their eyes, you can see like instead of like gray hair, they have some white feathers along the edge of their eyes, kind of sort of denotating how long that they have been here and how long that they have lived. And he speaks to you. Well, it is good to see someone from the rebellion come to pay their respects on this dark day.
Yes, so it is. Dark times.
Is there a particular lost one that I might facilitate your penance to? My apologies, I have not introduced myself. How rude of me. I am Morgan. I am the Hierophant of the Silent Sanctuary.
Someone I loved who is no more because of a terrible choice that needed to be made during the rebellion.
Many terrible choices were made. None so terrible as. And he swears. And it's such a harsh and brutal swear that Okami, your guide, cannot even say it out loud. The king of the floating mountain. I speak with the dead on the regular. And I assure you, when his time comes, there will be many shades that will have words with him. He will not know the peace of death.
Yes, I think you are not wrong in that assessment. There is much to answer for.
Yes, there is. Is that a Mothtender over there you came with?
Ah, yes, Suri. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Soldiers, you're all so loud.
Well, soldiering was a loud business. But Suri is indeed a Mothtender.
Excellent. Charity. And you see one of the silent sages turn to Morgan. Charity, you please watch over the shrine and listen to those paying respects. I need to go speak with the Mothtender. Could you indulge an old raven and allow me to take your arm on our way there?
Certainly. Come.
And he kind of like he's got like an arm wing, as
Yeah.
he just sort of like puts his arm in your arm and just sort of leans against your still somewhat athletic form, and heads over to Suri's little picnic. While that's going on, I want to pivot over to Cuddles. Cuddles, you're kind of still looking around and exploring. Cuddles, you realize something. These orchids are all exactly like the ones in the dream that you carry. It's the same shape, the same color, all of them. How does that make you feel?
Well, it means that maybe somebody is supposed to have this dream here. But so I have to see if anybody's gathering the orchids to make a bundle.
And you can, and I will say Cuddles might find it overwhelming because lots of people are gathering bundles. In terms of the old badger woman has the basket. You see almost every other shrine and every other gravestone has a little pile and a bundle. None of them on fire though. It's almost like this might be a big dream.
I'll just go to the first person who I see who has a bundle like that.
Oh, okay. Honey, what kind of kith, what kind of animal is holding this bundle?
I would say probably an owl.
An owl? Okay.
Mhm.
What let's give them some pronouns. What would you say their pronouns are?
To me, I would say
Yeah.
that until introduced, the owl was a they.
Okay. So you see this owl, dressed in uh like in a big caftan. They're in a red caftan, that has dark green hands stitching on the edge of it, and they are uh just gathering the bundle in their hand. Oh, may I help you?
Hello. My name's Cuddles. I have a dream. Is it yours? And
Cuddles pulls this like a little broken mirror. Sort of takes out this little mirror and holds it up to this person, and inside this mirror is this image of a bouquet of orchids burning, and there's pain involved. That you can leave behind pain. I imagine is perhaps depending on who this might be, if it's theirs or not, it might be distressing to them. But Cuddles doesn't seem to recognize any distress about it at all, but just sort of holds up this mirror with this dream of these orchids on fire and this promise to leave behind all pain. And I just with this like these big bright eyes and sort of kind smile, I say,
is this your dream? Because I have to give it to you. If it's for you, it's from someone else.
Oh, no. No. No.
Okay.
But whoever that's for, I hope that the dream heals them.
Thank you.
Here, little one. And they hand you one of their orchids. Make sure to leave this on one of the shrines.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Welcome. And they just sort of nod sagely, and now you have this beautiful purple orchid in your hand.
And Cuddles is going to systematically go to every person who has a bundle of orchids and show them this traumatic dream and ask them if it's theirs, or if it belongs to them, or if they should have it. And there's no like sense of like, and it's really just quite innocent. Like, well, I found this dream, and somebody should have it, and maybe it's yours. Like, is this yours? And we'll hold up this mirror,
Right.
To share it. And it's again, this is like a day of mourning and a place of mourning, but Cuddles has this dream and thought that maybe if these are the same kind of orchids, somebody here, it might belong to them. And so, and also Cuddles does it like some people might think, oh, you shouldn't share people that dream. It's private or it's scary or it's something. Cuddles has no worries about people being dangerous or harmful. Everybody's like got good intentions. And so Cuddles is just going to show every single person with a bundle of orchids this dream and ask them if it's theirs.
I am going to give you a token, as you're inconveniencing yourself to help someone else. You might not know who they are. As there's like a little montage of like various animal folk either politely saying no, bursting into tears and running away, perhaps being a little upset and saying, "Ooh, that isn't a dream that you should be sharing on Bloody Night." And it's just like one kind of like, and it's sort of those three responses, like for the next 15 minutes or so, until you find yourself walking past Morgan and Vester. Oh. Well, hello.
seeing Cuddles
So
Sorry.
loud.
dashing about, Vester is going to sort of roll his eyes a little bit, but at the same time, Vester is going to have just the barest hint of a grin at the corners of his mouth.
And he's just like, oh, who are you, little loud one?
Oh,
I'm Cuddles.
I'm Morgan. I'm
Oh,
the Hierophant of this place. Yes, a wave. The spirits like waves. They don't make too much noise, but they still express loudly, if you know what I mean.
no. How are you?
Old and tired, but happy
Oh.
that you are here. Could you lead me to your friend?
And I just
And-
point at Vester.
No, I meant that you're too kind. That's, he kind of is like, Vester, please take me to the Mothtender.
And Morgan,
Ooh,
what pronouns do you use, Morgan?
Oh, he, him.
Fair enough.
Thank you. You're so kind.
And we continue on towards Suri.
Come on, little one.
and Cuddles just sort of comes along, and again, we're in the midst of like a lot of graves and mourning people, and it just doesn't really stick to Cuddles. It just everything like it's nice, you know. And Cuddles just follows along with Vester and Morgan towards Suriet, who's like also very nice. Then there's the little broken mirror poking out of a sack.
So you see, Morgan approaches with the rest of your group. My goodness. You have such a lovely setup here. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Morgan, a hierophant of the Silent Sages.
Of course you are. And I'm Suri. I have a letter for you.
Yes, excellent. And he reaches his hand enthusiastically and to take it from you. Gain a token.
And as she passes the letter over, she says, now, I'm only a messenger. So don't think too harshly of me. The ink is still fresh on that letter, but they were quite insistent.
Oh, of course, of course. As soon as I saw you, I knew that it had arrived. And he very carefully, may I sit? It's a bit of a walk back to the shrine.
Of course, have a seat. Cuddles,
Wonderful.
would you like some cookies as well? Have you been going around wishing people good dreams? Okay, you've probably been walking around sharing some dreams, like the very considerate and lovely person that you are. How did
yes.
that go? Oh.
People are funny. Sometimes they said no. Sometimes they cried and ran away, and I don't know why. And then sometimes they said, oh, don't share dreams, but sharing dreams is a good thing. Because dreams are ways that you know things.
Yes, it's like letters.
Yes.
And you see that him open the letter very carefully, unfold it, look at it, careful not to like smudge the ink. Oh, They fold it up, put it inside of their robes, and see a little tear come down the side of their eye. Oh. Oh.
Would you like some tea?
I would love some tea.
Of course.
It's always hard getting difficult news, especially on Bloody Night.
Yeah.
There's never a good day, really, or night, or evening, or afternoon for a message that hurts the heart. But you are better for it once you receive it. And the moths do enjoy treats.
You're so wise. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. What is your name?
Well, since I'm not officially on the clock, it's Suriet Nuit. Instead of just Mothtender Nuit.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Suri. And he just enjoys tea with you all for a few moments, as it seems like he's kind of sort of having a private moment of grief himself. I would like to give Honey. Suri gets another token for speaking your true feelings on a subject. And I wouldn't say this is an inconvenience. No, I feel like this is definitely inconveniencing yourself to help someone. Like you don't have to sit here and have a picnic. Like you could go around and explore. So I'm going to give you another token for this. Same thing for you, Vester, as you helped the old man from the shrine and came all the way here. Oh, yes, Cuddles. Oh, you're doing a very good job, but you can speak a little louder if you like.
I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Yes. So
Take a token for bending over backwards to
oh, just
to follow this place's rules.
so I didn't see you with a bundle, but all the orchids are here, so maybe this is your dream. Is this your dream? Is this for you? For you?
And I show him the broken mirror with this dream of a bundle of orchids on fire and a promise to leave behind all of the pain.
Oh. 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 And he reaches for it. And with that, we're going to take a break. We're going to take it's rest and self-care is incredibly important in Wanderhome. We're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we will be back and we will find out what the Raven caretaker priest says about the dream.
Sure, it'll be fine.
Hello. Yes, we're back. We are back. We have returned from our moment of rest to return to our journey. And just to kind of recap, our travelers had arrived in the Silent Sanctuary. They had encountered all of these different people, had a couple of quiet moments, realized that it was Bloody Night, a holiday that is not doesn't seem like the group's favorite holiday, as they lost track of time in the last place. And we left off with a moment between Cuddles and the old caretaker priest, Morgan the Raven, as Morgan the Raven is peering into the mirror, looking at the dream of the bouquet of violet orchids on fire, with a promise to leave the pain behind. Oh, oh,
I'm keeping it safe until it can find a home. Is this yours?
Cuddles, where did you find this dream?
I have a friend who speaks to me sometimes in my dreams, and sometimes gives me dreams, and sometimes I get dreams from other people. If anybody shares with me their dream, then I can keep it, and then I can have it and give it to others, or just remember it.
At the end of the war, I lost my daughter. She was strong and she was brave. She was like Vester. Clever. But the Peach Blossom Vale, in the final battle, she never came back. And I remember the night when I was given the news. I had this dream. This bouquet on fire. Here, as I rested in the heart of the shrine, I, Grand Psychopomp, always, I wanted her to follow in my footsteps. I begged the gods, small, venerable, alive, and dead, to take this dream from me.
Well, one of them gave it to me
I have
to
not
give
seen it
back
since
to
that
you.
night.
I think it was probably a small, venerable god who gave me this dream so that you could have it. You could have it back, and then if you have it, then there will be no pain.
I have a question about Cuddles' dreams. Do these dreams, are they the dreams that Cuddles carries and is offering to people? Are they always dreams that belong to a very specific person and can only go to that person? Or is it possible that people can take dreams that maybe not aren't necessarily theirs? Like if there was a dream of a happy, wonderful place, obviously this is one people are running away from. But can someone take a dream just to, oh yeah, that's mine?
Well, I have a bundle of balloons that I have. They're not really balloons, they're clouds. And these are all of my dreams. My dreams, I just put into clouds, and I could always give them to someone if they wanted. And then when people share their dreams with me, I can see them in the mirror, so I could give them to someone else.
I think that sometimes, perhaps as we've traveled, that Vester has seen some dreams that have been dreams that others have shied away from. And sometimes Vester may have said, oh no, that's mine, and
Okay.
taken some of those dreams. And so I think in this moment, as this exchange is happening, Vester just sort of has a moment of, oh, good, I don't have to take this one.
So I think that means you probably have some of these dreams on strings, these little clouds, because Cuddles has learned from a mysterious stranger how to put dreams onto strings and keep them around. And so you probably have some, and maybe you put them in your pocket. But I get these dreams and from people and places and rivers and trees and my own, and then I just wander around with them. And I guess you have some now, which is lovely. I like to have them and share them. Oh.
The old Morgan reaches, touches the mirror. And his hand goes into the mirror. And he pulls out the bouquet. And the fire illuminates the area around. And all of a sudden, Suri, the tea that you had, because as you know, tea sometimes cools, is suddenly warm again. But not like warm enough to like sip, as if you had just taken it off the teapot. And other people that are kind of nearby sort of turn around and like look and wonder as this like dream bouquet is in the world now. What do you think? How is Siri reacting to this moment of magic?
Suri has just been watching everything very carefully, somewhat proud of, Cuddles making a delivery, because we go over this quite a bit. There's some coaching on how to deliver it and how to, best way to engage, and maybe we work on the packaging. If they're screaming in the dream, you can't just show it. You've got to work up to it. You have to. There's a lot of coaching that goes on there. So the first thing Suri does when the tea heats up is she says, "Wow, tea was lovely today, wasn't it? I guess it's time to clean this up." Because one thing she is not going to do, she is far too brown of a vole to just drink tea that got magically heat up for no reason. Just, oh, well, okay, I guess we're done with the tea for today. There's still some lovely cookies and so on. It just starts pushing the teacups to the side.
Love it. Love it. I want to give you another token for speaking your true feelings. Like, oh no, we're not doing this.
And then turns to move almost semi-protectively between Morgan and where Cuddles is, but it's sort of like under the pretense of cleaning and making some room. And it's like the important thing about messages is that once it has been delivered, sometimes it cannot be returned back to sender. I do hope you found your service satisfactory today, and that the message, even though it may have warmed your heart or troubled you, it is your message to own now. Cuddles, how many cookies did you want? She's just really
2?
Alrighty then.
Mr. Morgan?
Oh. And it's at that point, like, the flowers just start to just sort of disappear and turn into like little wisps of light that are floating around all of you. Yes. Yes, Cuddles.
I have something to tell you.
Oh, yes.
There's a place that I can take you one day. One day, if you like, I can take you to a castle in the sky. I haven't found it yet, but when I find it, I can take you there.
I would like that. Come back here. You know where I live.
Okay.
Thank you for returning the dream. Make sure that you leave a flower by the shrine before you leave.
Okay.
And he gets up, looks with a look of gratitude to both Suri and to Vester. Thank you both. I think I'm going to take a long, lonely walk back to the shrine.
Excuse me. Here. She's got a piece of paper that she takes out, like her book, and in it she's written out in very flowery language, like a description of this dream. And then she's got the date. And she says, if you could just please sign right here to show that the dream has been successfully delivered, and regardless of any side effects from now having this back in your possession, you will not seek out any revenge, feel too remorseful to live, and so on, and you deal with it. Not that we're not caring people, but there was no insurance on this.
Oh, Mothtender, always business. He says it with just such a warmth, right? Like there's not an ounce of resentment in this old Raven's tone. Just a little bit of, oh, I've been dealing with this for like a century, kind of, and he just signs. He actually like takes out like one of his own feathers and dips it in the ink and
Oh wow,
signs
that
it.
is commitment. Okay, thank you so very, very much. Cuddles, you have your first signed delivery.
Ooh. Ooh, yay. Oh. I am happy to deliver dreams and customer service and happy. Thank you.
Small and forgotten gods have many shrines here. And the god with no home may have a dream for you before you leave.
Ooh.
And then he walks off into the shrines and observes Bloody Night as he takes a long, lonely walk by himself back to the shrine.
Maybe my wind god is here and she can tell me something. I will look for her.
Vester is also going to be looking for any sign of a particular god in this place.
We're looking for the same god. We just don't know it.
Yes.
You just don't know it. Suri, do you follow them or do you remain in the same place collecting letters and eating snacks.
Suri has moved. There's no more TT has been put up, and that has been packed away. Anytime her products get heated up by magic, and she didn't ask for it, but we're done with that. But cookies are still out. Cookies are
Yeah.
still out. What
Cookies are still out.
she is doing, and I will wait for their thing to resolve, is there's someone that hands her a letter that she knows cannot be delivered. And
Okay.
she's going to sit with that for a moment because it's one of the reasons she dislikes break.
Okay.
Sometimes people hope that coming to this celebration.
Yeah.
I will say that Vester,
Yeah.
as he gets up to go look, he's going to get up and move off, and then stop, turn around, come back, grab a cookie, and then turn around and wander back off.
Yeah.
I mean, Cuddles has cookies. Just
Yeah.
little cookies and little paws. Just doop.
Be careful. Don't get the crumbs on the freshly cleaned. Oh, you know what? Never mind.
Never mind. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's this rather humorous moment as you're both going like separate directions, and then eventually you both arrive at the same shrine in the city, in the necropolis. And it's not a grave, it's a shrine, because there's like little small god shrines kind of interspersed in between the graves and the mausoleums. And it is a statue of a feminine form on like a plinth, and it's the form is of a it's interesting because there's wings, but there's also like cat ears, but there's also like digi legs. It's almost like an amalgamation. I mean, it doesn't look unnatural, it looks supernatural in that there are aspects of all of the different ancestries and animal folk that inhabit Haeth in one form. And wearing like the vestments of like the same kind of vestments that you would see members of it. This is kind of strange to Cuddles because Cuddles is too young, but Vester, you recognize that these are the same kinds of garments that holy people that were a part of the rebellion would wear. And it's beautiful, but there's no face. It's just blank. It's just gone, like it's been worn away by weather and time. But like the rest of the statue is intact. And this is where your search brings you.
Cuddles just places the orchid on the shrine of the beautiful lady.
Vester will quietly say,
Take a token as you leave an offering to one of the small and forgotten gods.
some were terrified of her, but she was beautiful. And that fear, there was a time when that fear was not a thing. that she had a purpose and she had a drive that was glorious. There were times that it outshone the sun, that it sparkled more than the stars. She was quite something.
It still can. You both hear this voice on the wind. And Cuddles, you get this feeling of being in a moment in between sleeping and waking. And the statue gets bigger and bigger and colorful until it envelops the two of you. And there's a presence and the voice. It is all encompassing to the two of you. It is the voice of Dessa, small god of unity and reflections. She is many-faced, dead, and raucous.
Cuddles
Something
Cuddles is rummaging through their pack. They've got a little pack, and they're just rummaging through it. They've got more than one pack. But this one is like a little tiny special pack. And they rummage through, and they take out little small, like little cotton balls. But they're not actual physical. They're like the dreams. But the dreams that he carries are normally a bit bigger clouds. These are little tiny ones. These are half discarded half dreams that he always collects whenever he's wandering around. Cuddles, they collect all the little discarded half dreams from everybody. And they just turn to Dessa and they say, "Hello, friend. I've brought you food." And I hand Dessa this little bag of discarded half dreams.
She reaches out a multicolored clawed hand and gathers them all up in her palm, and they slowly melt into her. Her captivating, chromatic eyes reflecting and changing. I thought you promised you weren't going to come back.
No, I
I
promise.
thought you said my dreams
No.
weren't true enough.
No, I didn't say that. He said I can't have you reveal any more truths to me, so I won't let you tell me any more truths, but I will still give you half dreams if you want them. I just can't listen to when you tell me truths of dreams because he said so, but I figured you're still my friend. And you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome. I don't know why he says I can't listen to you when you tell me truths of dreams, but that's okay.
It is because I tell all truths, not just the ones that the Kith of Haeth believe are true.
Not everyone is quite like you, Cuddles.
Oh. Thank you.
I have the flower you left a few moments ago, Vester.
Yes.
Did you know that death means nothing in a dream?
So I have begun to learn. It makes Cuddles here a very special individual.
Quite. I don't know if I have forgiven you yet,
I don't.
and I am none sure if what the ritual called for was wrong. Look at all this sadness, Vester. Look at all this grief, this pain.
But
Don't you think that Suri would be so much happier
yes,
if you had not broken
there's
me?
pain, there's suffering, but they are all free to choose their path. And without that, they would be just wandering this place without any will of their own. Only what you wish to give them. As wonderful as what you wish to give them seemed on the surface, that would be all they have. And it would not have been from them. And to be honest, I'm not sure if what I did can be forgiven.
King of the Floating Mountains still lives. Curse his name. You may be free, but that freedom came at a cost.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. A great cost. I had to give up something of myself, and I had to give you up, which is not something I ever wanted to do.
She reaches out her great and encompassing hand, and it almost becomes smaller as you feel a gentle caress on the side of your face, one that you have not felt in many seasons.
Vesper,
I am here in this moment. Know that your offering and your apology is heard.
Vesper lets out another long sigh, and then almost unconsciously sort of casts eyes down at Cuddles. Because much as Vester outwardly signals trepidation and sometimes frustration with Cuddles, Cuddles' just bubbly innocence and always joyful demeanor is a port in the maelstrom of guilt that Vester feels for what he has done in the past. And so Cuddles is that rock, that root that Vester just kind of will always look to.
Are there any moves that you would like to take from the list? I ask not as Dessa, but as your guide.
I think Vester is going to actually begin to sing. Something between a dirge, an elegy that honors those who fell, but also honors those that he killed, including the one he loved.
As you do that, Suri, you witness something spectacular and otherworldly as you are having this moment with this letter. And there's a wave of sound. Many years ago, I had the privilege of witnessing something known as the human microphone. And I guess here we could call it the Kith microphone. It is when a large crowd of people, without amplification, repeat what they hear again and again and again as soon as they hear it. A rolling wave of sound. This begins to happen with this dirge, coming from deeper inside of this necropolis and shrine city. It's an old song. And it just rolls through the whole valley. You sing along.
Out of honor and respect for this moment, Suri doesn't sing along. Because this is not how her people celebrate or acknowledge or remember. And she thinks it would be disingenuous to join in on a song that does not come from her heart.
There is a power in that silence as you are able to bear witness to this moment. And then the silent sanctuary for a moment is not silent. And then eventually, as you finish your song, Vester, it's almost as if the silence that the respectful silence, Suri, that you have in this moment is echoed in the final note. And everyone falls quiet as you are, taking a moment of reflection. I want to ask the table, in that moment of silence, of quiet reflection, what do you all think about?
Vester is thinking about that moment. The moment during the rebellion when he had fallen in love with someone, the wrong person at the wrong time. And that person was also the god that he killed. And he, being a vagabond, and something that a vagabond can always do is to have something that they're not supposed to have, draws something from within the pocket on the inside of his coat, and he pulls forth a bangle that was hers. And he has carried it ever since that day close to his heart. And he takes it and lays it at the feet of a shrine. And just, he thinks if, in order to stop her from carrying out her terrible plan, if there was anything he could have done differently,
Cuddles, in that moment of silence, what do you think of?
There, there are many things that Cuddles doesn't remember from when Cuddles was very small, but Cuddles remembers there was a pretty lady that came to him that came to Cuddles, came to them in a dream. Cuddles was by themselves, wet. Things had happened. I don't know. I don't remember. But I do remember being very small and then being in a dream, and a pretty lady came to me. She was crying. She was hurt. That was very sad. And she said that somebody did something bad to her, and so I sat in her lap so she wouldn't be sad. And from that day, she's been my friend, and she has told me beautiful dreams about how the world could be better. And she's very nice. Bestowed said I can't let her tell me things about dreams anymore, but that's okay, because I just remember when she picked me up out of the water in my dreams and made everything really pretty. And did you know that ever since that she's been my friend, she's given me presents, and I can do things I couldn't do before. And ever since she's been in my life, people just give me things. They give me mirrors, and they give me dreams and secrets and presents of cookies. And everything is very nice now. And so it's just very nice to be with her right now. And it's nice. It's very nice. Oh, I'm thinking about the dream. The castle in the sky. Oh, it'll be so nice when I find it.
Suri, we're going to move to you. What do you think about during the moment of silence? And what do you do with the letter after?
I would like to spend a token to reach into my satchel and pull out a beautiful, round, perfectly ripe, just an almost cartoonishly perfect shade of peach from the bag.
Yeah. Yes.
And the letter gets set to the side as she takes out a little knife and starts to cut the peach into little slices so that the person who's sharing her space can eat some slices. And what goes through her mind is a narration of a letter. And it's simple. My dearest Fleur, today the baby cloud found quite hard and aged ground softened by the sprinkle of his gift. It was such an inspiring sight today to see the generosity of someone whose waking hours are what we would do in sleep. I pretend to understand, but you know I asked not to dream. Because to dream is to hope, and to hope is to think that there is something else beyond what is. And what is, I can be content in, because I have your gifts. My other companion, crooked yet charming as he may be, did something quite strange today. Would probably make you laugh. In the silent sanctuary, decided to sing. I'm not quite sure what the repercussions of his actions would be, as it did not sound like a whisper. However, I think the delivery of whatever dream the cloud gave to the groundskeeper / priest / person in charge, Morgan, may temper his reactions. Regardless, I do not want to be here, yet I understand I must be where I must be, and I will be where I am needed until such time, and then just kind of trails off. I must pack up the tea, the cookies, and the treats, because that certainly was not a whisper. Love, Suriet. That is kind of
Oh, oh, my heart. Um, your guide is flabbergasted for a moment. Your company is enjoying the peach immensely, and they say, "Thank you. This is the best peach I've ever had." Is this from the Peach Blossom Vale?
this is from a place of love, and that is all you really need to know.
Thank you. And it's I'm gonna say that it's an ash gray cat, older cat, older than Cuddles, but not ancient. Perhaps closer to Suri's age. Um, named Mortimer. Thank you so much for accepting my letter.
Of course. Now accept this. And she's cut it into pieces, and so what's left is the seed, and hands it.
I promise I will plant it.
Good.
In someplace special. And they wrap their fingers around it with like a reverence nod, and there's like almost like a little leather pouch that he keeps around his neck. He opens it, he drops the seed in it, seals it. May you find peace for those you've lost on this bloody night.
And may that seed grow and bloom into a tree that gives you warmth, peace, comfort, light, and love.
And Mortimer bows, but not like a noble bow, like a friend bow, like a bow that with warmth. And you can tell by looking in Mortimer's eyes that you have made a friend. I'm gonna do like a little smash cut, a little flash forward. Some time has gone by. Suri, I think maybe you've gotten a bit worried. Because your companions did not come back Like, this big thing happened. You thought they were going to be back. And, as you're sort of investigating around, you find them near the shrine that I described earlier with the woman with no face. And they are both asleep. Like, at the base of, and this is not like, Vester is always like, I got my eyes on everything. Vester is passed out. And there's this beautiful bangle that you recognize, that is resting at the base of the shrine.
All right, that's why you don't try to start new careers without doing research first. Poor thing has tired himself out endeavoring to start a choir and everything. Okay. Reaches into a satchel and pulls out like one of those blue circular tins where you hope what's inside is cookies, but you never know because everything rattles around in there, and just sort of gently tries to shake it so it doesn't make a lot of noise, just near Vester's head. Vester.
So Vester, you finish the dirge. You're sitting in that quiet. You're thinking, and all of a sudden you hear a rattling. And then you hear Suri's voice, almost like it's at the bottom of a fish tank, like really distant. And then you wake up and you're cold because you didn't bring like a blanket or anything underneath the shrine, and you don't remember falling asleep. Like, your eyes were wide open the whole time, and all of a sudden you just find yourself waking up to the sound of this rattling and Suri like whispering for you to get up.
If you don't get up right now, I'm not going to make you any cookies, and you're not going to eat any of the biscuits that I made either. Vester, I promise you.
Cuddles,
Sure.
you very gently and naturally ease out of the dream into the waking world. It is like the opposite of how Vester woke up. Vester, it was very much a, huh, what, huh? But this is just how you live, Cuddles.
Hello. Hello.
Did you have a nice little nap? That's wonderful. It then turns to it. Did you have a nice little nap?
I guess I did.
Okay, we can talk about how concerning that is in in the future. Are you okay?
Well enough.
All right, and Cuddles, how do you feel?
I feel very nice. It's nice. It's nice here. There's so many little dreams and people, memories. It's nice.
I'm glad that you enjoy it.
Mm.
And Suri is doing everything in her power to not actually look in detail of what's on the shrine, who's on the shrine, or anything like that. It's
Right.
just really focused on her
Yeah.
companions.
Vester, you notice that the bangle is gone. It was there when you woke up. And now when you look over, as you're kind of noticing, I'm going to say that you notice this. You notice that Suri is not looking at the statue, is just focusing on Cuddles. And when you like go to glance again, the bangle's gone. You could see the indenture in the earth and in the moss and in front of the statue where you put it. There was something there, but now it's not there anymore.
Vester is going to spend a token
Mm-hmm.
to give something to someone that has the potential to change them fundamentally.
Oh.
And apply that to that bangle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's at that point where a warm breeze goes by and the statue changes. And the statue becomes exactly as you remembered her at her best. Could you describe it to us? What was her mortal form like when she walked Haeth and you loved one another?
I think
What animal was she? What was she wearing?
I think that she was similar to what you described, but it wasn't so obvious as she had sort of a lovely sort of dark brown fur, but there were hints here and there. Perhaps some iridescent scales just behind her ears.
Could I
Um,
could I add
yes,
something?
please do.
What if she's a platypus?
Oh, I think that fits. I think that fits quite well. Yes,
I think the form she took was a
I like that.
platypus
I think that fits.
because
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. I think she, and I think she wore sort of these sort of very flowy, sort of a very flowy sort of a almost a sundress that just sort of was made from a very light material that would catch the light and create this sort of prism like effect as the light would strike it. And she would, she had these bangles like the one that I just left,
Mhm.
and on her head, a silvery tiara with a single stone that would sometimes, not always, but sometimes would change to suit her mood.
Mm. And as this warm wind blows, Suri, it feels familiar to you. This wind is the same wind that you felt in the moments that your love grew into a great, beautiful, sacred, divine peach tree. And in that moment, you hear a voice. Hear the voice that you thought was dead. A voice filled with regret that you remember seeing. And you hear, "He waits for you at Peach Blossom Vale." And with that, we're going to take our second break. We will be off for about 10 minutes. We're going to come back, well, maybe a little more than that. 10 after the hour, we will come back, and then we will have our final act of our journey. Hello. Hi. We've once again returned to A Season's Oath. Good news, everyone. We have reached, we have raised over the course of the stream, we've re- we've reached our $125 fundraising goal. Some donations before stream, some and donations during stream. And as a result, because we reached 125, we get to awaken a folklore. So, as we mentioned when we first arrived at this place, there are 3 folklores. And I would like, before we resume our journey, to ask and the rest of the table, the rest of my travelers, which folklore are you all interested in seeing come into play in this final act? Our choices are, just to remind everyone, The Day the Dead Danced with Us, The Miraculous Teachings of the Old Priest, or The Home of the Homeless God. Ooh.
I would vote for the home of the homeless god.
I mean, that one kind of leapt out at me as well.
Do you like The Home of the Homeless God, honey, or was there another one that was speaking to you?
I think I believe in the ones that flow best with the story. There seems to be a lot of investment right now in the God corner. So
All right. So, we resume our journey with a very intimate moment where Suri hears the voice of Esme, the god of unity and reflections, at and she hears, "He waits for you," and Peach Blossom Vale. Suri, for those that are traveling along with us in Earth, what is his name? The one that you love, the one that you
Fleur,
wear the ring of.
Fleur, Fleur.
Fleur. Even though the name is not said by the voice, you can feel it in your heart that this is about Fleur. And a few peach blossoms, even though there are no peach trees in this place, float past you. What do you do?
You said I recognize the voice?
Yes.
There's a lot of transparency in this traveler group. So there's not like, I held on to this and I don't know that and I don't know what's connected.
No,
Like
no, 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 no.
everything
There's
has
a
sort of brought
no.
everything.
There's a lot of sharing here. There are moments around the fire. Um, you know, I imagine Cuddles' naivete, everything just kind of rolls off. So, yeah, the person that would be the most shady and mysterious is the one that Suriet has known the longest and been, pardon my French, been through some shit with. So this is not something that Vester can hide from you because you both lived through it together.
Yes.
The important part about being a Mothtender is that I have to be non-partial, impartial, actually, non-biased in relation to the messages that I deliver and the journeys that I take. I am not quite sure of the dynamics or the details or particulars of what happens when you break up less than amicably with a significant other that happens to be deity, and that deity also happens to be very wrong about many things and then haunts the steps of those who have to live in the memory. But if perhaps you could ask your ex-Vester to maybe write a letter, my nerves could handle that far better than just random voices on breezes. I don't have Cuddles' temperament. I'm not used to having dreams come to me in such a way. Or maybe Cuddles. Next time you talk to the one that's not supposed to be telling you truths, maybe ask them to send letters instead of speaking. Like, I don't dream, so it's a little harder.
Okay.
Token for speaking your true feelings, Suri.
Suri. No, that's not Siri. Suri's different. I have a question. You said that you don't dream, but everybody dreams. What have you been dreaming of lately? This is
This is one of my moves. It's something I can always do. I can ask, what have you been dreaming of lately? And if you say, you get a token.
Perhaps it's complicated. Perhaps I do dream. Or perhaps I just think. Think myself until I rest. But in letters to my love. That's how I cope.
well, what have those? Wait, and they pull up a little broken mirror and they hand it to you. You can say what you've been thinking before you sleep, because I dream when I'm awake. So if you wanted to share, maybe that would be nice.
And I think Suri takes a moment because there is a innocence and a joy that she has, a peace that she has in Cuddles' innocence. And while she is shared without sugarcoating what has happened and so on, her stories of loss are always buried deep in the beauty of, like, how beautiful the peach blossoms are on the tree, the delicious peaches she pulls from the satchel occasionally. But in this moment, there is such profound sadness that she just looks to Cuddles and says, when we are out of the sanctuary where we need to whisper, I will share it then so that we can laugh and not disturb peace.
Okay, but I have a present for you and also for Vester when we walk away.
Okay. Then turns back to Vester. please do not let your possibly I don't really know. It's a very complicated situation that's beyond the education that I receive as a Mothtender. I don't want her speaking to me. Like, I haven't healed yet from that. It's a little rough. I understand that, I was in the war, I fought things, I killed a god. Like, you might have more, like, fortitude in ways that I don't. It's a little weird.
Fair enough.
It's a little weird.
Take another token.
Just...
Another token for speaking your true feelings.
I will do what I can. She is sometimes capricious, but I will try and keep you separated from all of this.
While the grown-ups are talking, I just wander around again and I just look at everybody and I memorize their faces and I smile at them and I just sort of spread joy and love as I sort of like purr around all the people while the grown-ups are like, they're talking grown-up stuff that I don't really understand. It seems very complicated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, the people, are there any specific moves that you would like to do to facilitate, or are you just sort of casually spreading joy? Because you do have some moves.
No, I'm just foreshadowing for later.
Okay, cool. Oh, good. I'm just double checking. Some of the moves will
yeah.
let you do what you're doing with intention, and I just wanted to check in.
Just making a note for everyone that I memorize everybody's faces that we meet at all times.
At all times. Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right.
Whenever we meet somebody, I memorize their face.
Okay.
Just for no reason.
For no reason. No reason at all. Cuddles, eventually as you're kind of walking around, you're finally back at the shrine and you've gotten another flower. I'm gonna say that you walk past the old badger woman, the one that that you met earlier with the basket of orchids, and she gives you another one. And says, "This you may use however you wish." And she just gives you a warm smile and continues. Because the last one she said you have to leave it at a shrine. This one she gives you and she's like, you know.
I just give her a little purr and a little cuddle as I sort of like, I'm just giving so much joy to all the people. I'm a little kitten. I make people happy. That's what I do.
Yeah. It's wonderful because like there are people, like I said, there are people sobbing. There are people, singing the war songs. Like and like your kindness is just really helping people, like the 10-year-old at a funeral, right?
Yeah.
But eventually your aimless wanderings, you're back at the central hollowed shrine, and you see your Morgan and you see all of the other silent sages handing out blankets. And there it is, the big central shrine.
That's nice.
I'm just gonna go back to the other one, the goddess of the wind, and I'm gonna clean the shrine, just like clean it off a little bit, and then I'll come back to my friends.
As you're cleaning the shrine, go ahead and take a token. I'm going to consider cleaning it to be an offering. And you're cleaning it, and it's at this point, you notice that the shrine is different. You notice that it's a platypus now, and that her clothes have changed. And you hear her voice one more time. And she says, "I have lied to you. I am not the wind.
You're not the wind?
I stole the wind's face and wore it for a time. But if you truly wish to find the castle, you must ask the true wind far to the north, and the north wind sea, the heart of a storm.
Okay, and that's your garden, right? And then if I find your castle, then I can visit you.
Yes. Yes, you'll be able to.
You're very nice.
Take your time, little one.
Okay.
Not to be too
Ooh.
long. And you just and you finish cleaning the shrine. The timing of it is perfect. It was just like she was talking to you, and then right as you finished, she just drifted away.
I'm gonna like wander back to the grown-ups who are talking. I don't know, boring things like I don't know, boring things, relationships or something. I don't know what it is about.
Vester Suri, are you still having your serious conversation? Or do you feel like you would have wrapped up by the time?
Probably wrapped up. I think Vester fairly quickly acknowledged what Suri was saying and would have agreed to try and mitigate any exposure to the those sorts of complications.
It's a little weird.
I will say something. There is like in your what do in your pocket, you realize there's something in there that wasn't there before.
Vester will kind of reach in and kind of take a look.
It's a letter. Really nice stationery. It's got the seal with the orchid on it.
Okay. Open it and take a look.
You open it. It has Suri's name written on
Oh, does
it.
it? Okay, well then I will.
On the outside, yeah, like excellent.
I will hand it to
penmanship.
Suri then. I believe this is for you.
It just appeared in your pocket just like that.
Just like
Wonderful.
that. I mean, as you well know, sometimes I find myself in possession of things that I didn't have before. Just mysteriously.
Cuddles. I got a letter.
I like letters. Oh, Vester.
Yes.
Just give a little head nod, little head. Oh. 30?
Mm-hmm.
And I hand you the orchid.
Oh, lovely. She holds the letter and the orchid. It's just this. It's a very cinematic kind of shot. You know, this very calm and collected and professionally cheerful kind of Mothtender who is holding like a symbol and possibly a communique, all associated with like the trauma that she lives on a daily basis. And she's just from the two people in her life that are left that she actually cares about, and she's just like, okay. All right. Takes a moment, takes the orchid, gets one of her books, carefully places the orchid between it, puts there to show Cuddles a thank you to, that. And then looks at the letter. Okay. Opens it and does the seal.
You open it. And it is a well-composed transcript of what was whispered to you. Uh, and and in addition, a beautiful watercolor painted. There's 2 pages. The first page is a transcript of what was said to you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom, there's just an E,
Mm-hmm.
or excuse me, a D, like a
Mm-hmm.
big D. And then on the other side is this beautiful full color watercolor map that is particularly of this region of Haeth that leads to Peach Blossom Vale.
Okay.
Like from what you can see, it's a very clear route. It shows you where all the roads are, all the towns, all the rest stops. And it's done similar in the style of the kind of maps that you have in your satchel.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But this was not. You've seen maps in the archives of the Mothtenders
Mm-hmm.
that are magical, maps that were gifted from small gods rather than those written by paws. This is done in that style.
Oh, this was very kind. This is very kind. I can handle this. The letter, it's tangible. I don't have to process it emotionally really until later. So this was wonderful. I'm so glad that you all have open channels of communication with the person who absolutely ruined my life. All right, let's have we celebrated what we needed to here? I think this is your first time coming to a bloody night, isn't it, Cuddles? I'm glad that you had a wonderful time.
Cuddles, I'm curious. When you look at everything that's going on in this place and everything that everyone is doing here, what do you see? What do you feel?
Oh, okay. I see many people, some of whom are sad, some of whom have pain, some of whom are happy and are having dreams. And I see people who might want more happiness and to be together more. And people who could smile and could all be friends.
Sounds like my home. That's how wolves live.
And everyone could be like that.
Let me tell you about a special moth.
Okay.
There's a specific type of moth we rarely see. Because you see, while it's young, it's very hungry and it eats all sorts of delicious, wonderful, amazing things. And when it finally becomes a moth, it's one of the most breathtakingly beautiful moths. But statistically, they haven't been able to figure out what exactly the moth's diet is. Because once they become beautiful and winged, their only purpose in life, really, is to find the other half of their heart. So when we see a moth volunteering to deliver, and it's this type of moth, it means they have either lost the other half of their heart, or their heart is so full that they don't actually need it.
take a token for sharing a story about a subject you would rather not speak of on this bloody night.
Have you lost somebody?
Yeah.
I have a friend who tells me if I get a little stronger, I can find anybody in the world and then go to them and talk to them. So I'm going to figure out how to get big and strong, and then I will find the person that you're missing, and then we can talk to them.
You focus on growing as big and strong as you want. And if that's a message that we're meant to deliver, we will. If it's not, it's okay. And
Okay.
then looks to Vester. I appreciate the letter. Please, 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 if you do get in contact with her again, let her know I got it. One thing at a time.
Fair enough. I will do what I can to keep you from all of this. It is understandably disruptive.
I mean, as disruptive as it can be if your soulmate is a tree. Yeah, I think it's a little disruptive. But it's also a beautiful cycle of life.
Trees speak to me in my dreams, and they tell me their dreams too. I love trees.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, now Yuhusi and Suri is packed up. Everything is packed up. Satchel,
Everything's packed
everything
up.
is ready to go.
Yeah.
Like she's been ready to go for like the last 2 hours. But she's just
So, Cuddles, I have a question for you. As you're all walking away, I'm assuming to find a place to set up camp outside of the necropolis.
Can I give them my present as we're walking out?
Yes, I wanted to ask you what the presents are as you're making your way up the stone stairs to head back towards the main road to find a nice flat place to camp for the night.
Okay, I have a present for you both. It's a present.
okay. I'm ready.
And I smile at Vester and Suriet, and I say, okay.
Question real quick as we're leaving. That dream that that was given to Morgan, was there a sense that Morgan was it more a sense of relief or a little bit more a sense of pain from that dream?
Relief.
Okay.
Morgan was
Just
running
wanted to be
away.
sure.
No, absolutely. Morgan was running away from their pain. Morgan left behind that dream, and I'm reluctant to use the word destiny because Haeth isn't really that kind of place. Destiny is dangerous. It's a little bit too close to heroism. But a journey was meant to happen that would bring that dream back, and Cuddles is part of that journey. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. I just wanted to be sure that there was a sense of relief from it, and not that they were still had some lingering pain more so than relief. So,
and I will say this: the timing of it was interesting because it was after he got that letter, and they were probably tied in some way. But that's Morgan's business, not y'all's. And I think Suri would agree,
yeah.
right, Suri?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cuddles, your gifts.
Okay.
I have 3 tokens, and I'm going to spend 2 of them, leaving me with only 1. And Cuddles will reach out both of their little tiny paws, just like with Suriet and Vester right on either side, and will reach up and will say, and this is something that Vester would remember that Dessa used to say. This is a thing that Dessa would say. And Cuddles says,
Would you hold on to me?
Sure.
and Cuddles will hold on to both Suriet and Vester and activate the magic given to them by their godfriend. And we, all three of us, lift up into the air and we fly. And we can walk in the air as long as we hold on to each other. As long as we hold hands, we can walk in the air. And I could imagine that perhaps this was something that Vester and Dessa had done before. I don't know. I wasn't there, I guess, because I'm a kitten. And we're going to walk to wherever we need to go, and it'll be so beautiful.
We're going to be in the air together as friends. Just walking in the sky.
As we're leaving, is there, as we spend our time here, was there anyone there in this place who, of course, people were bringing the orchids and they were bringing offerings and all of that. Did Vester see anyone or encounter anyone who was clinging to something that they couldn't let go of, that was contributing to them not being able to move on with their grief?
Yes, the old badger woman. She just kept filling that basket with more orchids. It's like she couldn't let herself finish.
So Vester is going to kind of do a couple of things here.
You're thinking of this as you're kind of walking through the air.
Yes.
You know, the camera kind of close on Vester as you close your eyes and you think about what you did off camera. A little flashback. So
yeah,
what did you do?
Vester is going to there's a couple of things here. One, to do something kind without getting anything in return. And as we're kind of floating off into the air, Vester is going to again trigger something he can always do and have something you're not supposed to have. And he is going to just tuck that basket away in his pack.
Okay. And the friends walk through the beautiful sky, clouds drifting past, final pieces of daylight vanishing in the horizon. You walk until you find a place to camp and rest your head. And with that, we will settle down for the night and end the first episode of A Season's Oath. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for being here for the launch of the House of Dreams Twitch channel. Thank you to Apocrymatic Unlimited for partnering with us to raise money for Black Girls Rock. From what I can see, we raised $110 and a little bit more pre-stream. So we are almost halfway towards our goal. We still have lots and lots of streams to go. Please pay attention to both my social media at Okami on Blue Sky, where I will be making more announcements about, House of Dreams, and the Apocrymatic Unlimited Blue Sky as well, as we have more amazing streams coming up. The second episode of Burning Obsidian, which our fantastic Umbralknight is a black cyberpunk two-part adventure. The second part's going to be, I believe, next Saturday,
Next Saturday,
correct?
correct.
next Saturday. So please come donate. We've got more Gotham by Grassland by Javante is also going to be returning next Saturday as well. We're going to be back next Sunday, same Wanderhome time, same Wanderhome channel. And there's all kinds of other fantastic one-shots and series that are going to be going on throughout the rest of the month. Please keep an eye out on Apochromatic Discord social media to find out information on all of them. And I would also serious shout out to Transplanter RPG for stepping up and sponsoring this event and boosting us and putting eyes and uplifting queer, trans, and Black and other BIPOC creators. Now is the time. I hope everyone enjoyed this slice of warmth and kindness for the world. And thank you so much to my cast. Let's go ahead and do our outros. I have been Okami, aka Hector, Keiichi Okami, all over the internet. I am the steward of the House of Dreams, and I have been your guide. And you can, as I said, you can find me at Keiichi Okami on Blue Sky and Instagram. That's where I've been most of the time. And I am a TTRPG game designer and actual play performer. You can find me at keiichiokami.itch.io. That is my Blue Sky account. And it's also my itch page where you can find all of my little independent games that I have been writing for the past couple of years. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn it on over to Honey.
Hello, everybody. I'm Honey, aka Honeyanddice. Thank you all so much for joining in today to help support us through this amazing story and to also, more importantly, support an amazing cause. Finding so many pillars of the community coming together to all work together, but doing it with their unique flavor. It's a wonderful thing. You can find me at Honeyanddice on most social media except for TikTok. You can also find details about what I'm working on and so on my Blue Sky page as well. I just want to tell everybody to remember to love your you. And if that's hard today for whatever reason, know that it's okay to be okay and it's okay to not be okay. Surround yourself with people that celebrate your successes but also support you through your challenges. And if they're not there for one or the other of those, then they weren't there for you to start with. But I want to be there for you. You are truly a bright light in the night sky that is the tapestry of my life. So know that you matter and you value. You're valuable. Oh my goodness, you're so valuable.
Umbralknight, tell us about yourself. See you soon.
Hey, everybody. I'm Umbralknight. You can find me over at Umbralknight X on the Blue Skies. I am a historian and I do social commentary, and I also work in an academic library. I do all kinds of fun stuff. I will be next week, next Saturday. We'll be doing this again next Sunday, but next Saturday, I will be doing Path of the Fates over at Tales from the Table Studios, and then right after that, Burning Obsidian, again as part of this lovely and very vital thing for Black History Month at a time when there are very powerful forces that are trying to erase Black History Month from just erase it. Period. And so everyone who shows up, whether you can donate or you can just show up and give us your support, we're all so super thankful. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone here. I've had so many conversations with everyone here, and we've done other things, but this is the first time that I've been able to sit at a table with all of these lovely people and actually play a game, and this is absolutely spectacular. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Trooper.
Hi, everybody. I am TrooperSJP, and it was my pleasure to bring you Cuddles, the very small kitten who just, wants to purr and get pats and collect dreams and have, you know, lovely times. So it has been lovely to be able to be Cuddles with this amazing group of people who are playing characters who have various wounds and memories and traumas. And, you know, I hope that by the time we get to the end, all of their problems will just be gone and we'll all be happy together. And I'm sure that will happen and it will be great. And you can, you know, I'm a streamer. You can find me, the RPGs that I'm doing, you can find me here next Sunday, of course, for more of this. But on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern time on my channel, TrooperSJP, I'm currently doing, doing a solo TTRPG, 2D6 Dungeon, which is a procedurally generated indie RPG. And it's a little bit of ridiculousness. So come and join me there if you like. Other than that, please take care of yourselves, and thank you for everyone who donated. Thank you for donating. Everybody who watched the show, thank you for watching. And it was my pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you. And everybody who chatted too.
Shout out to you, my producer and dramaturg, Kallum. Shout out to Nano and Alixskye, who both teamed up with me to create all of this art and these beautiful overlays. And thank you so much as well to Madness Diamond, my admin, who helped me with scheduling and planning since October to make this dream happen. And with that, farewell, everyone, and we will continue this journey next Sunday.